That's all. Oh, I should do this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. That's right, we're live from our studio. Thanks for joining us today. Speaking of today, we're going to be painting up some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And I thought instead of doing the more contemporary, more dark black costumes, we're going to go with some classic blue and whites. So, and I have another little character over here that I've been working on. Maybe we'll doodle on him. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't got a permission. Did I get a, no? Yeah, okay. So let's kick it to the minicam and get started because there's lots to do. 3 characters to paint. Can I do it all in an hour? Let's find out.
Speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D, what's going on with our cool painting contest challenge?
Yeah. The hashtag painting protocol is S.H.I.E.L.D. affiliation. So if you have some really cool S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that you've been working on, we would love to see them over on Instagram with the hashtag painting protocol. And you can share those with us and we will take a peek and we will choose our favorites or the ones that just inspire us, the ones that tell cool stories, you know, and feature them here on the show. So if you've been working on something S.H.I.E.L.D. related, or if you can just say, this is totally S.H.I.E.L.D. related, even though it's not, just from a story perspective, give me a reason why. Maybe just paint S.H.I.E.L.D. colors. We go through and we pick our favorite ones. Yeah, hopefully less internet issues today. Yesterday was quite a few of the internet issues. Just overall, I was having trouble even around town. There seemed to be some troubles with the internets yesterday. See, with the initiative, any character can be S.H.I.E.L.D. Chewie gets it. Let me see that Doc Ock Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here for it. I'm here for that. Yeah, Dormammu doesn't party well with others. Dormammu creates Dormammu's own parties. Nobody plays Doc Ock. I'll play you, Doc Ock. I love Doc. The guy's a beast when he goes off. I've used Doc Ock to quite effectiveness. Scientific hubris. It's one of my favorite, not my favorite, but one of my favorite names of ability in the game. It's like, I'm so smart. I got the sciences. So this is my second set of agents, and I had to think of something to do. Because my first set's more, like I said, the contemporary black tactical style. So, I was talking to Schick about a couple ideas, and it's like I could do him Hydra. Be kind of fun. We're just gonna make a mess. And Schick was like, do the classic blue. And I was like, yep, that's the one. We're doing classic blue. It's always messy at the beginning. White gloves or blue gloves? I can't remember. I feel like they're white gloves. The affiliation list is not a one-to-one translation of what happened in the comics. That would be incredibly impossible to do so. This is the Marvel Crisis Protocol universe. Oh, the 90s Spider-Man cartoon style on yours? That'd be cool. Okay, blue on our strategic deployment S.H.I.E.L.D. agent here. Oops, and I accidentally painted something blue that's not supposed to be blue. It's alright. We'll fix it later. We're just going to get a nice coat over everything that needs to be blue and let that Zenithal Prime work. Yeah, June 9 through 11, and we are gearing up for that. I'm sure we'll have some educational paint streams and some talk with developers and some cool reveals. He's a tactical deployment agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. dropping in on the battlefield, coming to save the day from above. Yeah, I always get real messy at this stage. Let's get some paint on there. Doesn't matter if it's kind of blotchy, we're going to tie all that together with some shades and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that website. Been working on that. Hopefully we'll be showing that off real soon.
It's really beautiful. I can't wait to show it off.
It's really beautiful. I got to take a look at it a couple times, and we were discussing like how miniatures and stuff get displayed, and I was very excited. Seems to have a very intuitive flow to it, which I like. So much blue. And I grabbed the most ginormous. Yeah, Blybrush. It's something we've been talking about for a little bit. A new website. Something we've been working on. Working on that new website. A lot of ins and out to that project. All right. Let's do this guy. Steve Rogers, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Which blue am I? I got a couple blues on my palette, and they're just kind of mixed in over here on the side. There's a little Jordan turquoise. Where'd that dark blue go? Some navy blue and Canterbury blue. And I'm just kind of using mixes and lots of water. So this was just a fun, let me crank that down just a little bit, or a little bit. This was just a fun, happy accident. I needed some agents for the stream today. So I got some agents. And of course, there was a Nick Fury. And I was like, what am I going to do with this Nick Fury? I already painted a Nick Fury. But I had an extra Captain America laying around. And I thought, oh, I wonder if this works. And you know what? It did. This is a kit bash. It's Nick Fury with just some extra Captain America bits. You know? Hobby Miniatures game, and I'm a hobbyist. So sometimes I like to do something fun. And if you watched last year, Schick and I did a couple kit bashes for our little campaign we played against each other, our little game we played against each other, where he kit bashed Punisher, and no, he used Star-Lord as Frank Castle, and then I did Frank Castle as Star-Lord. Like kit bashes. So we like to do a little kit bash every now and then. I thought this one was fun. I was impressed at how well it worked. I'm going to paint over his skin anyway, so it doesn't matter. Steve Rogers, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not that hard. I cut the blaster off, put the shield on, did a little trimming to make that fit on the back of the arm, a little putty to make it look like a solid grip. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And then I had to shave the head a little bit to make it work, and then a little putty. Easy peasy, a lemon squeezy, as the kids are wont to say. That is what the kids say, right? No?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Start shading our blues. Do this however you want. Use a little wash. I want to use a little two brush action. I'm not going to do it perfect. I want to do it good enough. Just to create some tonality on the shadows. This is my base color blue with a touch of black and a touch of brown. That's going to richen it out, make it more visually appealing and interesting. I'm not going for perfect, I'm going for done. I'm thinking about how to paint, not what to paint. So I'm just thinking about where light and shadow is falling and how to make it visually cool without worrying about perfection. Perfection is for competitions. I'm not competing. This is for the table, so this is for me. As long as it makes me happy, then it literally becomes the most perfect miniature in the world. I don't know if you need an article there, DRB. It's super simple. Like I said, you just need a little putty. I don't even know if you need the putty. Depends on how particular you want to be. But it's just a matter of putting the head on and getting it to fit. And then plopping that shield over top of the hand once you remove the blaster. Like, it's a very, very easy part swap. Believe in the me that believes in you. I know. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Affiliations? That's my favorite part about Marvel Crisis Protocol, is that there's affiliations, but then there's ways to break the affiliations. And then because you can play with anybody in your squad, you can kind of create your own like little narrative. Like, what if Thanos was an Avenger? Like, what if is such a vital and ubiquitous part of the Marvel, like, idea. Like, I grew up on those what if comics and I absolutely loved them. Recently picked some up here that were great. So this Marvel Crisis Protocol kind of allows you to kind of do that. What if, I love seeing factions painted and characters converted. I should bring my Star-Lord in that was converted for literally just one game. Schick and I did like a little narrative, like we were going to build our army, our little force over a month. And we told like a little story. You can catch all those videos from last year on YouTube, Atomic Mass YouTube. So we built like a little force, and then at the end we each got a surprise character, and I took the Punisher's body and gave it Star-Lord's head, and then I sculpted what I called an Apocalypse cape, and then I used Crossbones' hand to create a little Infinity Gauntlet and sculpted gems in it. And so my team was being led at the end by Star-Lord with an Infinity Gauntlet. And it was all because S.H.I.E.L.D took Star-Lord's body and turned it into Punisher. So the Punisher had Star-Lord's jacket, and I was just like, well, Star-Lord is coming back for his jacket, sir. So it's fun to kind of, and so we had entire rosters painted around themes of the story we're telling, and I absolutely love that idea. For me as a hobbyist, like, I love that opportunity and potential that the game invites me into and allows me to kind of tell stories, you know. I have, oh man, I have some characters I've painted 3 times. I don't think I've had anybody 4 times yet. Soon, Wolverine will be a definitive 4-time paint job. Because I gotta have classic blue gold to go with my uncanny. I needed the black white X Force to go with my X Force. Of course, I need the brown and mustard, because brown and mustard, one of the most underrated color combinations in comics. Just totally unloved as much as it should be loved. And then I have an idea for a couple other things that my boy Wolverine needs to be painted up. It might include a diorama. I have an idea for a diorama using Wolverine that I'd like to get to. You know, I'm busy. I have a busy job and a busy life, so I try to get as much as I can painted. This guy's crunched up, so he's a little more shadowy. Yeah, on a long enough timeline, there's no, I don't think there's a Marvel character that on a long enough timeline we wouldn't want to add to the game. You know, on an infinite scale of time and space. Mordred, hello. You can only release so much at a time. Between all of our games, we got tons of stuff in the works. Always. Like you said, if you're ever thinking to yourself, I should ask the question, are you working on something? The answer is yes. We are working on stuff. Constantly, every day. Let me tell you. Worried? I have a busy job. We're always making stuff. Can't tell you what it is, but we are making stuff. I'm liking this little dark blue black in there. Very watercolory technique. Just kind of letting it fall where it may. Oh, I'm sure news is coming real soon. Can't talk about everything.
They forbid it.
Yeah, summer forbids it. Just a little shadow on my shield, dude. While rappelling down his rope. Absolutely adore this miniature. If I told you everything, I'd have nothing to tell you. Rope guy is best guy. Mixing up a little paint. It's a 100% accurate statement. Rope guy is best guy. You need the plastic here. Have you already painted your shield agents and hand hinges? If you don't have as many She-Hulks as I have painted, then you gotta keep up, catch up. This guy's so stoic. Which ninja is best ninja? I think center ninja. He's the anchor point. Oh yeah, MCP trailer for Main Strav. Hype. Hypes. Chain Ninja is best. I like Chain Ninja. That was one of those concepts. I think have I talked about this? I'll stop if you've heard it. I think they all heard it. So oh yeah, we missed Adepticon. Like, love Adepticon. Absolutely adore that show. I'm just gonna use a little white into our blue base. Jimmy, I agree. I am so ready to see what everybody brings to the Worthy. Don't worry, we have not forgotten about the Worthy. It will be making an appearance. There's an Odin trophy just waiting to go to somebody. And I am super excited to give that away. That's definitely... We want to celebrate artistry and miniatures and all that jazz, and I'm super excited to get that trophy in people's hands. Don't focus too much on what's in the future and you don't have. You'll miss what you have right now. It's like the 80s hairband song. You don't know what you got till it's gone. There's little scritches, some highlights. So you guys are all talking about stuff I can't comment on. I guess I'll just talk to myself. It's nothing new. So let's talk about the worthy. We're painting miniatures. There's some conversation in there about that. The worthy is about the celebration of miniature art. It's about seeing what can be done with miniatures and what people strive and push themselves to achieve with the art form. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't enter. If you are inexperienced or if you are a tabletop painter, the goal is to facilitate each entry and help them, those who enter, become the best painter they want to be. Now, that might mean that you don't want to be, maybe you don't want to be the number one painter in the world. That's okay. You don't have to be. But I want to help you become the best painter you want to be. So maybe you just want to be the best, you just want to be a good tabletop painter. Okay, enter the worthy. Let's take a look at where you're at and then ask for feedback. Because that's what the worthy is really about. It's about the feedback. I would have never learned anything without asking questions and getting feedback from people. And so the worthy is set up to do just that. You enter, and the first couple rounds, you're not actually competing with anybody. You're competing against yourself. So if you are going to get a gold, it's not because you beat everybody else. It's because you deserve a gold. So I'm going to give a gold medal to every entry that's worth a gold level. I'm going to give a silver to everyone who deserves a silver, and a bronze to everybody who deserves a bronze. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's not winners and losers. It's a bunch of people coming together and growing and developing skills, getting feedback, getting input, and taking a path, the path of the worthy together. And then only if you get all the golds, from all the golds, that's when we choose the category winner. So that's when you're actually competing against each other. And then all the category winners, of course, will be one of those will be chosen as the worthy and get the big own trophy. But I've entered painting competitions not because I was trying to win or wanted to win. I wanted somebody who had more knowledge or skill than I to give me feedback on what I was doing. And I think that that's way more important than winning a trophy. I mean, the trophy's there, and it is awesome, and I'm jealous I never get to win one. To be frank, what? Oh, we're way off?
You're just off to the right a little bit. There we go.
There you go. So that's what the worthy is really about. I want to see beautiful paint jobs, and I want to see people push the art form and what they can do. But also, like, sometimes it's the little steps. It's a little bit of climbing the mountain that's important. And I don't think that should be discounted. If you enter 1 year in the worthy and you get no medal, but the judges, you come up to the judges, you're like, hey, so I painted this and I didn't get anything. Don't be upset. That's not a good way to approach it. But be like, okay, so help me out. What can I do? And I'm going to ask you. I can't vouch for all 3 judges, but I can vouch for myself. I'm going to ask you, well, what's your goal, right? And if you're like, well, I want to be the greatest miniature painter ever known to man, I want to be like, well, that's quite the level. It's quite the ask. But if you're like, I want to just get good at this. I want to get good at miniature painting. I want to be, I want to win competitions, or I just want to get better. Like, what do I need to get better? Then let's talk about that path, the path of the worthy, because we're all on different points of the same path, And we're all in it together. So let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with a course of action for your painting to improve. And then maybe next year you enter and you don't get a medal again, and you get more feedback. And then the next year you get a bronze. And now you're seeing that feedback and that work. You're seeing that payoff. You're seeing that, that dedication come together. And that's what's important. And then celebrating other people's wins. Like, celebrate where everybody else is at on the path. Somebody else doing good isn't stopping you. That's just their time. So let's work on your path. Let's work on your path together. And that's, like I said, that's what the Worthy is about. So I'm super excited to get that going again. Getting people painting and thinking about how to push their art, how to push what a miniature can be and should be. It doesn't have to be the same thing it's always been. Let's try new stuff and experiment and see what happens. Does that make sense? I feel like everybody's forgotten. BK, I feel like everybody's forgotten what the Worthy has for trophies and prizes. So we should probably share that again soon. Because you get patches for entering. There's some really dope awards. Like I said, it's awesome. It's going to be awesome seeing somebody lift that giant Odin trophy and hoist it and be like, this is what miniature art is. And then, but at the same time, everybody that just entered to try and learn and become better, those are just important and just as big a wins. If you can come in, you can just be better than you were yesterday. And that's not just painting, right? All this is just, I'm just hiding philosophy of life and painting here, But being a little bit better than you were yesterday, that's a huge win. And they should absolutely be celebrated. So let's celebrate them together. Man, this is real sketchy. I'm having fun. This is not the way I normally paint. I like mixing up styles from time to time. There's definitely stuff in the works. We have a giant full schedule. I live years in the future on that schedule. It's got a little too blackened. Try and dull that down. A little blue there. Blue is such a bully color. Efficiency painting. I go for fast and looks pretty good on the table. Well, I love, if they eroded your skills, sometimes you gotta go back. Look at me. I'm an efficiency painter right now. I'm trying to paint 3 full miniatures in an hour. Now I'm not going to get done, but typically on streams I paint a whole miniature in an hour. What? Oh, I'm doing 4. Because why not? I usually try to paint a full miniature in an hour on stream, and that's good. But sometimes it's nice to go back and paint something at the level you can paint and remind yourself, maybe you got something to say. Maybe there's a message you want to tell in the miniature. Maybe you just got a story, right? You know, it's nice to go back sometimes and push yourself every now and then to remind yourself what those skills are, you know. And maybe the worthy, that's the place for you to give that another go. I never forget Rope Guy. Thank you very much. Rope Guy and Hand Ninjas, like, when I did the concept for these, it was like one of those moments where we all kind of step around like, all right, let's try this. And I love those moments. Like the Hand Ninjas were just like, oh man, this is like a engineering like conundrum, right? And then the Rope Guy was just like, okay, let's test this out. Let's try this out and see how it looks. And I just immediately fell in love with it. I was like, this is just so fun and such a story narrative miniature. And it does something that miniatures don't normally do. And I think that that's super important and fun. Like, once again, right? Let's see what we can do. Let's see what miniatures can be. Mr. Stoic here. I'm just waiting for him to say language. I'll be like, sorry, Cap. Slow right there. Just the first coat, it doesn't gotta look perfect. Yeah, the Christ Protocol miniatures, I mean, comic designs are designed to, be drawn very quickly in a repeated manner. So they lend themselves to like nice miniatures to have not a bunch of clutter and noise, which means you can really focus on certain techniques. You can focus on one or two aspects and really push yourself. So I really enjoy Marvel Christ Protocol miniatures for that reason, right? I am a miniature painter first, so definitely when we're designing these, it's kind of definitely at the front of my mind. Like, how is this going to paint? What kind of questions does this ask? Some ask hard questions, some ask easy questions. Kind of a nice breath of, miniature philosophy and design. What brand? I don't know. I got like 3 different brush types here. I definitely have some Windsors. They're just, good watercolor brushes. My favorite sculpt, that's an impossible question. That's an impossible question. I don't do favorites. It's like we talked about the other day at work. It's like, what's your favorite song? Well, I don't know. What mood am I in? Am I feeling melancholy? Am I feeling sort of excited and rambunctious? Like, that all changes. My experience and my, um, I don't want to bottle myself into one thing. So I want to let my experiences live and breathe. So I don't typically have favorites. I don't, my brain doesn't work that way.
What is the name of the female agent?
Uh,
Is that Maria Hill?
no. She looks very Maria Hill. You could say it's Maria Hill if you wanted to. But it's a female agent. It's the leader of the pack. The little squad here. Like each one of these sculpts for me, right? Like they presented different philosophies and stories and puzzles that we had to figure out. So each one kind of become, special in their own way from a pure work standpoint. Like, once again, when I first presented that lizard concept, Marco was immediately like, "Let's do this. This is crazy." And everyone's like, "Can we do this?" And you know, things like Mysterio, right? It's like, whoa, this is totally wild. And Magic went through 2 or 3 concepts before we landed on that sort of super awesome overhead smash. Um, Magic is definitely a great character, a very powerful wizard, sorcerer supreme of Limbo. Um, Lots of good comic history with that character. So capturing that personality was super vital. So we went through several different iterations before we kind of landed on that. And then that one just kind of became like wild, once again, from an engineering standpoint, how do we do it? I mean, I wouldn't want to say it's Maria Hill because we could just do Maria Hill someday. We never know. Like I said many times, on a long enough timeline, on a long enough timeline. Oh yeah, Storm Sculpt. Definitely a lot of lessons, learned from that sculpt. You know, everything we do is iterative. We try something, we do it, and then we take those lessons from that and we apply them to the next one. If you go back and you look at the release, maybe not in order, because nothing's been released in order of what sometimes the way we work on them. But if you go back, you can see sort of how things have been iterative. You can see the iterations and developing those philosophies between characters and learning those lessons. And that's super important, is to try new stuff, see what works, apply it to the next thing, but better. Without that first Doctor Strange, that first Doctor Strange was the first one where we were like, let's lift characters up off the ground and go get crazy. And now I look at that first Doctor Strange, I'm like, it's pretty tame. But that's the first step. Those are those first steps, right? And those are super important steps. That Doctor Strange basically led to Storm, led to Scarlet Witch, led to Mordo. And each one of those just kind of carries us to the next stuff, stuff we're working on now. They're all just layers, like an onion. Oh yeah, when that like the other thing, like on this topic, like Marco and I are very much like, as soon as we're done with something, one of the very first questions we ask ourselves, all right, now how would we do different? What would we do if we did it today? Magneto was done sculpting before, Crisis Protocol was even announced. So, like, we were already thinking, like, what could we do different? What would we change if we were to start that again today with all the information and knowledge? Like, these are just conversations we have. Push, grow, learn. I always tell my kid, you never learn by winning. I'd never do my boy Logan like that, Ronnie. Rude. Rude! Oh yeah, Mr. Sinister, fun sculpt to paint. Fun sculpt to paint. Love painting up that Sinister. Oh no, it's 2 o'clock. I'm going to get booted off here. You got a few more minutes. I'm just going to paint. We're not going to kick it over to the other cam. Is that okay? I'm just going to give all the information. I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to ask their final questions. I've been just jabbing along painting. Hopefully it's been fun and informative. Remember, if you're curious about all the latest news, information, and announcements coming from Atomic Mass Games about all of our wonderful games, you should check us out on Twitter and Instagram. If you've been working on something S.H.I.E.L.D. or something not S.H.I.E.L.D. that you want to have be S.H.I.E.L.D., you should use hashtag painting protocol on Instagram this month. We'll be picking out our favorites and showcasing them here on the show. And keep Road Guy's hair white like Hannibal from the 18. Done! You sold me on it. And remember, every Tuesday and Wednesday, you can catch us here on Twitch, where you can catch us painting and hanging out, answering questions, and just all about, being rapscallions and hanging out with the community that we love so much. So if you want to hang out and paint with us, you can join in every Tuesday and Wednesday. And eventually Thursdays we'll get back to painting or streaming games, which everybody's excited for, including me. I have so many miniatures painted now. I'm ready to get some stuff on the stream. I don't remember who suggested the Hannibal hair, but totally down for this. Just needs to build up some shadows and then we'll kick some highlights into it. That won't be till after it dries though. Just gotta dry. Jimmy DeHaan, don't glue Sinister's cape on before you paint them out. Yep. Yeah. Every miniature is different. They ask you a lot of questions. It's up to you to answer them. Gotta keep that winning streak going. That's right. Crossbones with a mailbox for the win every time. All right. That's it for the day. We'll catch you next week. So long, and go be the heroes you want to be, 'cause it's the rope guy dropping in to save the day. He's probably got a burrito in his pocket. Probably. I mean, I would.